You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, the Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister addressing concerns over NIB payments. Christian leaders within the 8 Mile Rock community lamenting the spate of recent murders in the area. And today, November 30th, marks the end of the 2021 hurricane season. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Jamila Mizik. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight, the Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for the National Insurance Board, the Honorable Miles Larota, giving his contribution to the supplementary budget debate yesterday in the House of Assembly. The minister addressing concerns over NIB payments while assuring Bahamians of the government's commitment to assisting those unemployed. Minister of State, the Honorable Miles Larota, noting that the government continues to support unemployed workers. He says, to date, the government has paid out in excess of $190 million to 34,319 persons.
Madam Speaker, I would be remiss if I would not have given the former administration credit for their implementation of a system, albeit created by the PLP. The program was scheduled to remain in effect until September 2021, has been extended until December 31st, 2021, with beneficiaries to also receive an additional lump sum payment of $500 to be paid in mid-December 2021. The estimated cost of this stimulus is around $6.5 million.
He says that only persons unemployed or partially unemployed earning less than $200 per cycle, that is every 10 days, are eligible for the continuation of funding.
If you have returned to full-time employment, your employer submit your return to work to NIB via returntowork@nibbahamas.com. That's the email address.
Larota also addressing the expected increase in pension payments.
We wish to reiterate that this increase is only due for public service pensioners and does not apply to the NIB pension. NIB wishes to remind pensioners that amendments made to the National Insurance Act in 2010 induce automatic biennial adjustments to pensions granted and the wage ceiling. The last automatic increase in NIB pension was applied in July of 2020.
And as it relates to the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, he says new equipment is needed, such as a new server, which was last upgraded in 2012.
The estimated cost for a replacement is around $500,000, $525,000 to be replaced. The news is the primary feature of ZNS, and obsolete equipment is not going to be in the best interest of the corporation. Hence, Madam Speaker, we will have to find a way as a government to equip ZNS with all of the tools needed to go head-to-head with those other news providers. Because I've said this before and I'll say it again. No matter how good the equipment, no matter how nice the presenters, Madam Speaker, at 7 o'clock in the evenings, we know who the majority of Bahamians tune into to get the news.
In other news, a fast-growing luxury contractor with projects throughout the Bahamas, the United States, and the Caribbean hosting a job fair at the Pelican Bay Resort today. Endeavor Development International Limited interviewing scores of Grand Bahamians to fill various positions on the island of Abaco. Recruiters say their aim is to fill several positions by the end of the day. Shashina Rolf-Farquharson reports.
The job fair at Pelican Bay aimed to attract skilled trade persons for new projects in Abaco. Hiring and HR manager Aaron Alberti says Endeavor Development International Limited is looking for a site superintendent, a site superintendent assistant, as well as a project manager and assistant project manager, among other positions.
So based on kind of our business model, we are general contractors, so we would love to work with as many subcontractors as possible. However, Abaco is slower to recover, so we are doing a lot more self-performing work. So I'm also building out a self-performing team, and so if I find the talent today, I would love to hire an electrician, a plumber, who work for us and are on site for us. And so electrician, a plumber, and then really, basically skilled trades. So I have a good number of finished carpenters, but, a good drywaller would be amazing.
The veteran HR manager says the company is also looking to build a database for projects in Exuma, Freeport, and Nassau.
So everything we're doing in Abaco, we're going to have to copy that and paste it in Exuma or wherever else we go next. And so in that sense, I'd be looking for a camp administrator. I'd be looking for, basically everything. We'd be starting from scratch there. Currently, Abaco, I have roughly 42 employees who work for us right now.
Alberti adds that she is impressed with the applicants that have been interviewed on Grand Bahama, noting that the talent for the construction industry is here.
So far, quite frankly, I advertised for a camp administrator position. I already filled it. Within a day of seeing resumes, we filled that job. And so, unfortunately, there are people who are coming, but I'm looking at them for future opportunities. So the talent that I'm seeing today is phenomenal. The goal for me is just to kind of match them up to make sure that they're a good quality fit for our organization, and then Shane is really qualifying them on their expertise within construction. I am very confident we'll hire, if not everyone that we need today.
EDI is constructing luxurious homes and commercial retail on Bakers Bay, Abaco. Shashina Rolf-Farquharson, ZNS Network News.
Meanwhile, officials of a newly formed teachers union say they are doing their part to improve the education sector. Recently, members of the Bahamas Educators, Counselors, and Allied Workers Union met with the nation's leader, the minister responsible for labor, and the Minister of Education in New Providence. Tonight, the president of the union is sharing details about those meetings and the way forward. Italia Hall reports.
The Bahamas Educators, Counselors, and Allied Workers Union, established in October of 2020, now has over 400 members. President of the union, Sandra Major, says she, along with a team of union members, met with the Minister of Education, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, in October. She says the meeting was productive and encouraging, adding that the union's aim is to work along with the Ministry of Education to improve the education system.
Instead of taking our fights to the street, we're going to take them behind closed door. And if issues are to be solved, we think that we can solve them in a decent manner behind closed doors. And when we come out united to further the Bahamian people, not to tear them down. So it's very important that we have those meetings, and Becca plans to be a part of them every single time.
Major says the education minister's goal is to work along with the union.
The respect that we give is the respect that we want back. And so we have said to the Minister of Education, and she said to us, that we are willing to work together as a partnership, because we don't have to fight. We can fight if we have to, but we don't always have to fight for everything. Like I always say to people, just because you sit opposite me doesn't make you right, and it doesn't make me wrong. It makes you that we share a different opinion.
And last week, the group also had the opportunity to meet with the Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis, and the Minister of Labor, the Honorable Keith Bell.
The Prime Minister is very labor friendly, And the plans that he has to improve the relationship between labor and the government is a very positive one. In speaking with the Minister of Labor, I brought to his attention that we have a lot of teachers who are still awaiting confirmation. And his concern is he doesn't know why it's taking so long, so he said to me that I can forward him a list of names of teachers who are waiting confirmation, and that's what I will do.
She contends that the issue of confirmation for teachers is frustrating.
There's a teacher at Martintown Primary School who has been waiting from 2007 just to receive increment. She's never received an increment. She's worked, and that's her entitlement. There are teachers who've been waiting 8 years to be confirmed, for a letter to say that you confirm. Why does it take so long? And so in order to move forward, we must have a faster processing of confirmation letters. Teachers have sent to the ministry continually. We've written just since I've taken over. And before that, Mr. Quinton LaRoda was doing the same thing. Going to Nassau, sending the letter, and there is a holdup.
Major notes that it is their duty to empower the members within the union.
All of us are leaders. And to make them better, we have just recently formed a relationship with the Bahamas Baptist University College from Nassau with Dr. Julian Reed. And in this relationship, we have formed a memorandum of understanding where she will accommodate the members of Beckerwood if they want to further themselves in a degree. And because of her affiliation with schools in the United States, we're also partnering with them, and I will have a meeting with them next week, Florida Memorial University, to see how we can give our members of Beckerwood an opportunity to further their education.
Now the union president says they are presently in 9 islands across the country and plan to expand to even more islands in the near future. It's Talia Hall, ZNS Network News.
In other news, Christian leaders within the 8 Mile Rock community lamenting the spate of recent murders in the area. In 1 month, 5 young men have been stabbed or gunned down, and an appeal is being made to members of the community to promote unity and peace for the betterment of all. Shishina Farquharson reports.
Police officials have had their hands full with a number of murders and shooting incidents on Grand Bahama. Within the past few weeks, 3 men were killed in the 8 Mile Rock area, leaving the community shattered. Leaders within 8 Mile Rock say this is of grave concern.
It's really devastating, and it's obvious that devastations as such, it leaves a stain, not only blood stains, but it leaves a stain because now you have the entire community is impacted, especially with the young people. They're witnessing these events and these devastations happen, and it's easy for them to carry on with the trend, and so it leaves that stain, and that's something that we have to counteract.
Pastor Andre Farquharson has visited with some of the victims' loved ones.
And she shared with me what was told to her. As a matter of fact, I mean, he was right in his yard. You know, and so when you see you're being murdered right in your yard, that was really heart-wrenching for her.
But Pastor Theoka says there must be a mindset shift.
Speaking from first-hand experience, as a teenager, I could even think of times when older persons as a teenager plays gun in my hand and say, "Hey, hold it, see how this feel." I'm playing video games and they having target practice outside, and so this is common. And it has to be a mentality shift. I think that's the major problem, because I could have easily become a statistic of that experience.
There's also a cry for stiffer penalties. Pastor Marvin Henfield says it is not only lawful, but it is also biblical.
When it comes to murder, according to God's law, there must be capital punishment. This is one thing I heard on the streets going to homes and visiting families. One thing is, well, they say if you're going to do capital punishment to that person who commit, murder in the worst sense, they want to say it's inhumane. This is what many are saying out there. But when you look at God's law, he said, no, that's justice. Move the murderer from the land. The land is defiled by blood, and it cannot be atoned for unless. So if you act on the law, they would learn to fear it, because they are not fearing the law, because they are seeing the injustice. Criminals guilty by all measure. The evidence is there, and they're still out on the streets.
Shashina Wolf-Farquharson, ZNS Network News.
Bahamians across the islands of the Bahamas, particularly here in the northern Bahamas, are perhaps breathing a sigh of relief as the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season comes to a close today. Tonight, a chief meteorologist is giving a review of the hurricane season and says residents in the northern Bahamas are fortunate. Italia Hall reports.
The 2021 Atlantic hurricane season was projected to be an active one. Chief Meteorologist Orson Nixon confirming that it was, as this is the third most active season on record with some 21 named storms.
It's also the second year in a row and third overall that actually allocated 21 named storms on the list. That was exhausted. But what happened early in the year, they did issue an announcement where they will cease to use the Greek alphabet for named storms that surpassed the 21 list. They will have a supplementary list that will be used.
He says the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season began a little early with Tropical Storm Anna in May, adding that this is the 7th year in a row that a storm formed before the start of the season.
This year, we were very fortunate. We did not experience any direct results of any hurricane or tropical storms. We did received some swells from one or two hurricanes, and that was the extent.
East End resident Omiko Glinton says he is breathing a sigh of relief that the Bahamas was spared from any major storms.
For someone from East Grand Bahama who have been through Hurricane Dorian, to be honest with you, even if you hear a little thunderstorm, your heart starts to beat because it brings back the memory of the horror of Hurricane Dorian. So the fact that we are at the end of November, and the good thing about that too is my birthday ends the hurricane season. My birthday is December 1st. So that's always a good thing. So, but I could say, besides seeing the people of East End start to rebuild and everything, it is a sign of relief that we are at the end of the hurricane season.
Dion Marsh is sharing the same view.
The hurricane season right now is almost behind us, and I'm happy with that. We don't need another Dorian. So that being said, we just need our economy to pick up right now.
Georgette Bullard says she is truly grateful as Grand Bahama nor Abaco can take another storm.
Well, I'm the only woman in Abaco that had baby hours before the storm hit, so trust me, I'm more than happy that there's no storm coming this way. You know, thank God nobody in Freeport have to worry about that as well. We've taken a licking and we managed to keep on ticking.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
You're watching the Northern Edition. Stay with us.
Come on down. Come on down. Now.
If you're tired of looking the same, yeah, you ain't got to complain, no. You know where to go and you know what to do. You can find it here. You got the best in men's world. Come on, let our friendly style flow. Hey, come on and shop. See what is what a man's got. Yeah, we got it on for you. Hey, come on and shop. See what is what a man's got. Yeah, we got it on for you. Hey, come on and shop. See what is what a man's got. Yeah, we got it on for you. Hey, come on and shop. See what is what a man's got. Yeah, we got it on for you.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
There's no reason to skip holiday traditions this year once you know the facts about COVID-19 vaccines. These vaccines are safe and effective at preventing severe illness, hospitalization, and death. They've been placed through rigorous clinical trials and are used in countries throughout the world. Data confirms that vaccines can also provide protection against variants of the virus, including the Delta strain. COVID-19 vaccines help to protect you by teaching your body how to fight the virus. Without the vaccine, you and your family may be at risk of serious lifelong complications from a COVID-19 infection. By being vaccinated, you can remove regret and fear that someone you love will be impacted or die from COVID-19.
Merry Christmas to you.
Persons wishing to be vaccinated should visit the website vax.gov.bs. The Ministry of Health and Wellness also encourages persons to pay attention to announcements on when a pop-up vaccination center will be hosted near you. This message is brought to you by the Public Hospitals Authority. The Public Hospitals Authority, working together for best quality healthcare.
Ice the coconut got this, cocoa skin driven madness, juiciness ice the back this, sweet like a sugar in a dripping like ice hot.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The National Lead Institute, a community correctional organization, hosting a week-long workshop at the Jack Hayward Gymnasium to equip stakeholders, community leaders, and various government agencies with the necessary tools needed to help at-risk youth. District Superintendent of Education Ivan Butler thanking its members for the work they are doing.
The Lead Institute has a vision for every at-risk youth and offender to become a community leader and a model citizen. It also has as its mission to build pathways from recovery to leadership at at-risk offenders in their communities. This vision from the Lead Institute clearly aligns with our mission in the Ministry of Education, and that is to provide all children in the Bahamas with the opportunity to receive a quality education that will equip them with the necessary skills, knowledge, and attitudes that are required for life.
Senator the Honorable Kirkland Russell giving remarks on behalf of the Minister for Grants Bahama. He says the Lead Institute's mandate is in line with the Davis administration's blueprint for change.
In our blueprint for change, the Davis administration is committed to assisting the most vulnerable in our society, and we pledge not to leave behind those who felt disheartened and disenfranchised. We must all work together to recover, rebuild, and revolutionize our country. Hence, I pledge mine, as well as our Minister of Grand Bahama, support and effort of the Lead Institute.
And now it is time for a check on sports with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to Sports. The 2021 Wahoo Fishing Tournament at the Old Bahama Bay was a smash. Let's take a look. The Old Bahama Bay Charity Cup attracted some of the best anglers from South Florida. It was some fierce competition over the course of 3 days, according to tournament director Andy Flack.
We have 29 boats that actually were able to make it over for this amazing tournament. We're here in West End at Old Bahama Bay, which is one of the most amazing pieces of property that you can come to and stay at and fish from. And we've been absolutely welcomed with open arms by the West End community and the Old Bahama Bay staff.
General Manager at the Ministry of Tourism here on Grand Bahama, Stephen Johnson, could not be more happy to see these fishermen return.
This is the Old Bahama Bay 2021 Wahoo Tournament, and I can tell you, it's full. The resort is full this weekend. We have probably about 45 boaters, and there's probably 250 to 300 persons here. Some people even flew in, but majority came in by boat, and so this is really great for for the Grand Bahamian community.
And finally in sports, high school basketball on Grand Bahama is back.
The Grand Bahama Junior and Senior Boys Basketball Challenge will be at the Jack Haywood and St. George's Gym December 1st through the 4th. The junior boys and the senior boys. The junior boys are as follows. In Pool A, 8 Morokai Blue Jays, Sister Mary Patricia Jr., St. George's High School. And Pool B, Tabernacle, Sunland, Grand Bahama Academy. In the senior boys division, in Pool A, St. George's, Jack Haywood Senior High, 8 Morocco High, and in Pool B, Tabernacle, Sunland, Bishop Michael Ellen, and St. Paul's. We'll have 2 pools, and the championship will be on Saturday.
I'm really excited for the young people of the island. I know they've been going through a lot physically, emotionally, not being able to get out there and play their favorite sports, whether it be basketball, tennis, volleyball, whatever. So it's really good to be back playing basketball, and we're going to do this in the safest environment possible. And I'm so grateful to Dr. Michael Davel and the Minister of Health and Wellness, and of course, the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg, for their assistance in making sure that this happens. Of course, the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture will be down here. Mr. Mario Boleg the Honorable Mario Boleg will be down here Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to take in the event. And we're going to do it, like I said, in the safest manner. Unfortunately, for the community, there will not be any fans allowed in the gymnasium, just because we still want to err on the side of caution. Once you get in the gym, you're going to have to sanitize. There'll be sanitizing stations that will be placed throughout the gymnasium. The players on the bench will have to wear their masks along with the coaches. Once they come there, they will sanitize before they leave the gym. And then once the games are over, we expect the teams that just got through competing to leave the area and go back home and make sure that we try to stay as safe as we possibly can.
Now, according to organizers of this basketball tournament, games will be live streamed. And that's a quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
Save online at Paint Fair today through Wednesday and in-store Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Visit paintfair.net or Facebook for details.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year.
The holidays are always a beautiful time with family and friends, and this Christmas ought to be no different, especially since we know that vaccinations prevent most people from getting serious complications from COVID-19 or even dying. Vaccinations also allow us to protect ourselves and the most vulnerable, like the elderly or persons battling comorbidities like cancer, HIV/AIDS, and chronic illnesses like diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, and kidney disease. This Christmas, let's get back to the things we miss, like being able to visit family and friends, parties and indoor dining at our favorite restaurants, and gatherings to celebrate the new year to come. We can have these moments again by taking the simple step of getting vaccinated and abiding by the safety protocols of wearing masks, hand washing, and social distancing.
Say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet.
Persons wishing to be vaccinated should visit the website vax.gov.bs. The Ministry of Health and Wellness also encourages persons to pay attention to announcements on when a pop-up vaccination center will be hosted near you. This message is brought to you by the Public Hospitals Authority. The Public Hospitals Authority, working together for best quality health care.
Are you tired, overweight, having trouble sticking to your health and fitness goals? Well, look no further. The Fitness Connection has teamed up with ZNS to bring you Health Bites. This and every Thursday, tune in, and we'll make sure you get on track and stay on track with your health and fitness goals. Tune in.
King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Patricia Drake, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We appreciate your support. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team, I'm Jamila Missick. Thank you so much for joining us. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, thousands of vaccines set to expire. The former administration's reported reckless decisions publicly aired. The intense Atlantic hurricane season ends. And the Bahamas Bowl returns. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lopinder. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. Health officials are right now considering all necessary precautions in an effort to better contain the spread of the COVID-19 virus amidst mounting global concern over the new Omicron variant rapidly spreading around the world. Reports surfacing today that it's already in 20 countries. While the Minister of Health says officials do not believe it has made its way to our shores, health officials are keeping close watch and are standing ready to make adjustments to protocols should the need arises. Cleopatra Murphy leads us off tonight.
Government could tighten restrictions as the Omicron COVID-19 variant, believed to be much more transmissible, spreads across the globe. CNN reports that the virus, first discovered in South Africa, has now been confirmed in 19 countries, including Canada. While government initially issued travel bans for 8 African countries, Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, says health officials are monitoring to determine where changes may be necessary amidst growing concern.
Our borders are open. As you look downtown, our tourists are back. There is a testing modality on all cruise ships. There's testing that is presently at our border. We are concerned that the rapid antigen test may not be adequate enough because this variant is very deadly, and if it comes into our country, it could mean difficulties for us to be able to function effectively and allow our tourism to keep moving forward. So with that being said, I've said it before, we are looking very closely at tightening up some of our protocols, and that decision will be made in short order.
With the virus spreading beyond Africa, the World Health Organization has criticized that targeting that continent attacks global solidarity, a sentiment Darville weighed in on.
For us as a small country, and with us with difficulties in our healthcare system, we must be very vigilant and we must do what is best for the Bahamas. And that's exactly what we're doing.
The emergence of the new variant recently prompted former Minister of Health Dr. Dwayne Sands to suggest government reintroduce PCR testing for travelers entering the Bahamas. Darville says health officials had already been contemplating such a move.
We have been considering it from the first day we learned about the virus and the new mutation. Our borders are one of the most vulnerable areas for the importation of this new strain. And so that is being discussed, and within a few days, we will make a final decision.
Due to the threat of the new variant, the CDC has upped its recommendation from adults may get booster shots to they should. The Bahamas is set to roll out boosters for just the immunocompromised, but Darville says officials are considering options.
We are discussing it. We have some resistance because not everyone is of the same view. Some people believe that the vaccine is very precious, and the first option should be to the individual who have never been vaccinated. But with that being said, and as we begin to look at what's happening around the world, we realize that the booster shot is a very important element, and the Bahamas is looking at it as we speak.
Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Well, thousands of doses of Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccines are set to expire by the end of the year. But the Minister of Health and Wellness says the uptake hasn't been what they expected. The health minister admitting to reporters that Pfizer's popularity led to the one-shot vaccine taking a hit. Still, local health officials are hoping to avoid vaccine wastage, and doing so calls for ramping up the public education campaign to get more shots in arms and to ultimately get the Johnson & Johnson shots used.
We have about 20,000 doses of Johnson & Johnson that the expiration date appears to be at the end of this year, simply because when the Pfizer vaccine was introduced, the appetite for the Johnson & Johnson declined. And we're doing all in our power now to ensure that we do our best to get those vaccines, jabs, in people's arms, and we're going to try our devil best over the next month to do the best we can.
Well, meantime, Bahamas Waste Management stepping up its game to encourage vaccine-hesitant residents to roll up their sleeves. The company launching its nationwide vaccination drive today, making a strong appeal to Bahamians to get their jabs as part of the overall effort to fight COVID-19. Bahamas Waste Management's Managing Director, Francisco de Carrenas.
Well, everybody that has gotten vaccinated will go to Human Resource, Ernestine, and their name will get put into the barrel, and they will have a chance to win a $50 fuel certificate. We have 4 of them today. Then their names will go back into the draw so that they can compete for the $500 cash prize. We will do in December, we'll do the same thing, another $500, and in January, we're going to up it to $1,000. And hopefully by then, we'll be close to 100% vaccinated.
Supporting the vaccine raffle was National Consultative Vaccine Committee Deputy Chair Ed Fields.
Every little bit counts, and it really shows the effort of Bahamas Waste to get close to 100% vaccination of their employees as possible. And so we really applaud these type of initiatives because, first of all, they did it on their own without, being asked to do anything. And so it shows their commitment to their employees, but more so, it really shows how they are making every effort to be a part of the wider effort to get as many people in the Bahamas vaccinated as possible.
Well, it's a question many residents here in New Providence have asked, and now a decision will soon be made on whether to approve the Christmas Carnival for operation this holiday season. The carnival, however, has already arrived in town. Here's what the Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, had to say on the issue.
That committee would meet for the final decision on the carnival on Wednesday. As far as I understand, all of the preliminary requirements are in and all the applications have been received. So with that being said, when our committee makes the final decision on Wednesday, that will determine the fate for Carnival. I believe they would be successful, and so we wait patiently for that report.
Now, a pending decision on Christmas Carnival's approval comes as the country adds 18 newly confirmed COVID cases to its count. 11 are females, and 8 of the infected show a history of travel within 14 days. Hospitalizations have also increased overnight to 29, now 4 of the sick being cared for on the intensive care unit. The November 29th dashboard also reflects another 2 recovered cases. Still 68 deaths are under investigation and 228 tests completed. 2 of those tests are repeats.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, find out how the Bahamas and the Republic of Germany are strengthening its ties. The details ahead.
And the Prime Minister witnessing history in Barbados. We'll be back right after this. And remember to tune in to the Morning Edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30 and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this one, sis.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Spreading Christmas cheer
to everybody, whether far or near.
Move to the rhythm of Christmas round.
Did you hear that? Is it Santa?
Bring home BTC Superfast Extreme Internet Bundle for only $99.99 with 157 channels and 150 megabits of speed per second, and your home will be blazing all year long. This Christmas, make it BTC. It's the better choice for you and me.
Move to the rhythm of Christmas. Move to the rhythm of BTC.
KFC Saucy Wings gives you the choice. A precisely calculated chicken-to-sauce ratio for that perfect wing experience. Or a totally wild, completely coated sauce adventure that transcends traditional flavor boundaries. Whatever your choice, get sauced with KFC Saucy Wings for the perfect amount of flavor. Saucy Wings at KFC Nassau. So good.
Christmas wishes still come true with a little help from Bank of the Bahamas. Deck the halls this Christmas with the lowest consumer loan rates in the Bahamas. Celebrate and save money by switching to a BOB mortgage or consolidate debt to lower your monthly payments. And for the grown-up kids, BOB offers great rates and terms to make your dream car affordable. Celebrate and save this Christmas with BOB, your bank of solutions.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
She's only the third woman in the country to serve as acting prime minister, yet Minister of Education and Technical and Vocational Training, the Honourable Glenys Hannah Martin, is well aware of the weight of the position she holds for the next few days, as both the Prime Minister and his deputy are out of country. Hannah Martin joins the likes of former Attorney General Janet Boswick, who served as acting Prime Minister back in 1998, and former Deputy Prime Minister Cynthia Mother Pratt in 2005. Hannah Martin spoke with reporters before chairing the weekly cabinet meeting.
Very weighty and very serious, even though it's just for a fleeting moment in time. It's a hefty obligation, and I take it seriously. Well, I've been sitting in cabinet now for several terms. It's my third term. It's an awesome experience. I haven't had it yet. I'm going to go do it now. But you know, I'm very respectful of where fate has brought me, and I'll do my best.
Well, Prime Minister Davis enjoying the historic events taking place in Bridgetown, Barbados, as that country removed Britain's Queen Elizabeth II as head of state. The island officially became a republic at midnight. While there, Davis also met with international music superstar and Barbados native Rihanna, who was officially declared a national hero of Barbados. Prime Minister Davis is accompanied by Foreign Affairs Minister the Honourable Fred Mitchell and Ambassador to CARICOM, Her Excellency Leslia Miller-Bryce. Well, over in Switzerland is where you can find Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honourable Chester Cooper, who's attending the GAD World Event Airport Development and Finance Conference at the Circle in Zurich today and tomorrow. The Deputy Prime Minister addressed delegates on the country's aviation and airlift outlook, the PPP program and investment opportunities, while engaging in a series of meetings with industry stakeholders. GAD is considered one of the largest, most senior global gatherings of airport operators and investors, assembling an unrivaled pool of expertise in airport management, concession and financing models. Minister Cooper is accompanied by Tourism's Director of Aviation, Alton and Cargill, and Executive Director, Dr. Kenneth Romer. Well, now to news from Parliament. A stark difference between what was approved for the Bahamas Public Parks and Beaches Authority in the 2021-2022 budget and the end figure following contingencies. And Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis is pointing the finger at the recent general election. Opening debate on the supplementary budget in the House of Assembly Monday, the Prime Minister disclosed that some $15.2 million was approved for the authority. However, that figure swelled to $28 million, a staggering increase of 86% against budget. And that's still not yet the final figure.
I am now told that because of new contracts issued in the months of July, August, and September of this year, the projected expenditure of the authority for this fiscal year is $37 million from 15. That's an increase of almost 150% against the budgeted amount, and in dollars, it is an increase of $22 million. Right now, recalling now, Parliament only authorized $15.2 million. Now, I want that to sink in for a moment.
And according to the Prime Minister, a number of these contracts were awarded to clean middle and high-end subdivisions like Blair and Westridge. The Prime Minister assuring that the truth of it all will be revealed and that the former administration will be held to account for what he called its reckless decisions made for short-term political benefit.
As a result of this reckless and irresponsible behavior by the member as of September 30th, 2021, after only 4 months into this fiscal budget, that means you have 8 more months left. All right? After 4 months, the authority had already utilized more than 60% of its budget for the entire year. I remind you, like I say, 8 months still remains. And guess what? The roadside contracts in Kalani had risen to almost 400,000 and more.
The Bahamas and the Federal Republic of Germany deepening its ties with the signing of an airspace agreement. The move could see direct travel from that region to the Bahamas sometime in the near future, but it also offers ways for both countries to build on a relationship dating back to 1997. Jimenita Swain reports.
With the stroke of a pen, the Bahamas and the Republic of Germany inking a new air traffic agreement that will not only pave the way for travel, but other ventures as well.
Also in terms of the movement, not only of people, but also of goods. So it really is a means of, under the International Convention, of facilitating the ease of direct travel of people, as well as the direct shipment of goods, as opposed to going through the United States or going through another third country.
The acting Minister of Tourism and Aviation and the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Alfred Sayers, noting that the bilateral agreement is considered functional cooperation between the two countries. With the legal framework laid, German Ambassador to the Bahamas, Dr. Stefan Kehl, shares his expectations, especially with growing interest to do business within these borders.
In this agreement, we accord to each other overflight rights, landing rights, and all kinds of rights. Plus that we also hope to promote with this agreement tourism. And there are a lot of Germans residing here, but there's a lot of interest of Germany in coming here to spending their vacation there. So of course I hope that this will facilitate tourism.
Those visitors, says Sayers, would mean more stopovers, allowing for those visiting to in turn spend a longer time exploring the Bahamas. As to whether there'll be direct flights here, Permanent Secretary for Tourism and Aviation Reginald Saunders said this.
Suspect or would believe that
direct air travel will be facilitated by this agreement, and we look forward to that day when we will be getting direct flights from or between Germany and the Bahamas.
Ambassador Kyle is optimistic that in the near future, the Bahamas will receive passengers from Germany. Jiminy DeSwain, ZNS Network News.
A collective sigh of relief this evening as November 30th marks the official end of the Atlantic hurricane season. A pretty active one with 21 named storms and 7 hurricanes. The last of the season, Wanda, that came in October. Well, we have Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joining us a bit earlier this evening. Basil, we're out of the danger zone, or are we? What's the likelihood of another system developing at this point?
Well, Makisha is highly unlikely. Taking a look at the latest outlook presented by the Hurricane Center in Miami, they're indicating that within the next 5 days, we cannot anticipate any tropical cyclones, so that's certainly good news. But what a busy season it has been, not as busy as last year, which was, as you know, a record-breaking season with some 30 named storms. This year, we've ended up with 21 named storms, 7 hurricanes, and out of those 7, 4 of them became major hurricanes. But the good news is, out of all of those storms, none directly impacted the Bahamas.
So what's the takeaway from all this?
The takeaway from this is simply that it can be a very busy season, and we can be unscratched as we were this particular season. So the numbers does not matter. We should treat every hurricane season as if it was a busy season. And as this season was 21 named storms, the Bahamas came out pretty much okay. But all it takes is one bad storm to make it a bad season.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Hello, my name is Joan Evans. I am the Chief Financial Officer for Abundant Life Bible Church. One of my responsibilities is to ensure that the men and women who work in service to the ministry receive their monthly wages and that their NIB contributions are paid on time each month so that their NIB benefits are available when they need it. During the COVID-19 pandemic, when everything was shut down, the NIB Employer Self-Service Portal enabled me to make payments from anywhere. I didn't need to be in office or visit NIB, which I find physically challenging anyway. We got notice when NIB's ESS portal started, but we never registered to use it until March 2020, when COVID-19 protocols forced our hand. It was convenient and our payments were instantly credited to our NIB account. I still use it, even though I'm back in the sanctuary office. You should sign up today at ess@nib-bahamas.com.
When you wanna save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you wanna look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Having a policy with Bahama Health is more than just health insurance. It's about feeling good knowing that your health and wellness is covered. It's about the confidence you feel knowing that your card is accepted by over 50 pharmacies and 400 local doctors. It's about peace of mind, knowing that when you travel, you have comprehensive coverage and our overseas partner is just a phone call away. It's about the security you feel, knowing that you're an important part of the family.
Join the family. Do you want to travel this holiday season? Don't want to miss out on those blockbuster deals? Well, have you gotten your COVID-19 vaccine yet? Time is running out to travel for the holidays, and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine may be just what you need. It's one and done. Just one jab of this vaccine, and 2 weeks later, you're fully vaccinated and ready to shop. Protect yourself and your loved ones this holiday season. Schedule your vaccine appointment now.
In news from the courts this evening, 29-year-old Estonia Walker, mother of 4-year-old Dionia Bella Walker, whose death made national headlines earlier this month, was today granted $20,000 bail with 2 sureties before Supreme Court Justice Guillermina Archer-Mins. Police confirmed that the 4-year-old suffered blunt force trauma and had suffered several fractures. Walker is facing child cruelty charges in connection with her daughter's death. The case has been adjourned to December 17th. Another fatal shooting on the books here in the capital, this one on Hospital Lane after 8 last evening.
On the arrival of the first responding officers, they met a gray Nissan March with engine running, parked at an angle on the corner of Hospital Lane and an unknown name road. The officers inspected the vehicle and discovered a dark male slumped over the front seat. EMS was called, and following their assessment of the body, the male was pronounced lifeless on scene, having appeared to be suffering from wounds consistent with gunshots.
Police press officer ASP Audley Peters pegging down the victim's age as late 20s to early 30s. As for the details of exactly what and how things unfolded, that's still sketchy.
Again, we continue to appeal to members of the public to continue to report persons whom they are familiar with being in possession with firearms, so that we, the police department, can take action. As of late, we would have taken a number of persons into custody after finding them in possession of firearms, and those persons would be before the courts now awaiting their day for trial.
Well, come tomorrow, you grouper lovers out there will have to wait another 2 months before getting a fresh catch of the popular fish. The season closes as of December 1st all the way to February 28th. The public's reminded that no one shall take, land, process, sell, or offer the Nassau grouper except where there is written approval from the Director of Marine Resources for scientific research and educational purposes. Furthermore, during this period, a landed grouper must have its head, tail, and skin intact. Also, fishers and processors are requested to submit reports of their Nassau grouper inventories at the close of the season and are reminded a request for a permit to sell during the closed season would have to be made to the Department of Marine Resources. A bright spot for Porter's Key dock vendors, meantime, whose stalls were gutted by flames several months ago. Agriculture, Marine Resources and Family Island Affairs Minister, the Honorable Clay Sweeting, says the government has made provisions to assist vendors with acquiring supplies.
There was some funds allocated from the Ministry of Tourism and also some from this ministry as well. So we are looking at dispersing those to the vendors. But we are also meeting with the Ministry of Works to ensure that the facilities that's built there are not up to standard, but up to the plan that they had there originally. So we're waiting for Ministry of Works. Once we get that, then we'll hopefully be able to release the funds so they can get back as quick as possible.
Now, over $90,000 allocated towards the much-needed items.
There were some funds that was paid to FYP, which they would just receive supplies from them, and they in turn would have to construct the facilities themselves. So we're just waiting for FYP to release the actual supplies to them. So once we get confirmation from Works, and then we'll be able to do it in quick as possible.
Faculty, students, and alumni of St. Andrew's School celebrating a major milestone this week, half a century of learning at their Yamacraw campus. Officials commemorating the 50-year benchmark with the planting of a Brazilwood plant, the species of tree famously used by the Lutheran adventurers to fund expansions at Ivy League University, Harvard. St. Andrew's principal Gordon McKenzie says he hopes the tree in another 50 years will remind the institution's future students of its impact.
Our excellence can be seen in the school's steady move to international curriculum programmes, which ensure students are now over-prepared for the demands of first-year university. I'm proud to be the principal of a school with such a rich history and adaptable, innovative mindset. St Andrews will be here for another 50 years, and I hope I get to be here for the 100th anniversary of the Yamacraw campus. I can't wait to hear which aspects make it the best school in the Bahamas in 2071.
Well, St. Andrew's School first started out in the basement of the historic St. Andrew's Presbyterian Kirk before moving to Collins Mansion and then laying down roots at its current campus. St. Andrew's alumni Loretta Butler Turner walked down memory lane to reminisce about her life at the school.
While there are 36 nationalities represented at St. Andrews today, in 1967, my brother, Dr. Raleigh Butler, was the first black student to be enrolled at St. Andrews School, subsequently followed by my sister Claudette, and then myself in 1969. Essentially, we were a part of an homogeneous recipe. We were welcomed, we were integrated, and we never felt any difference. And that lesson took us throughout the world. Wherever we went, we felt that we were global citizens.
Tomorrow, World AIDS Day, and here at home, officials are forced to go another year without the proceeds of a major fundraiser. Crystal Darling has the story.
COVID-19 leaving officials of the Bahamas AIDS Foundation with no choice. For the second consecutive year, they must hold off on their major moneymaker, the annual Red Ribbon Ball. Despite the setback, the foundation's president, Camille Lady Barnett, says they are still grateful for those who continue to help.
You know, over the years, we've just had some wonderful partners who've come through, and we've reached out to them as well. And we understand the difficulty that many companies are experiencing, because some companies are downsizing and letting go people as well. And many of them are doing what they can under some really difficult circumstances.
A longtime partner of the Bahamas AIDS Foundation is the Paradise Island Atlantis Resort, whose Senior Vice President of Government Affairs and Special Projects, Vaughn Roberts, shares why the relationship is so important.
This particular partnership and our role in it really is that we support the Red Ribbon Ball, which is the AIDS Foundation's capstone fundraising event. And so for us, it's a key activity of the foundation in raising money to support its programming and all of the good work that they do. So for Atlantis, we are very thrilled that event happens here, and we really value that partnership in a way of supporting our focus on our people.
For over 10 years, Commonwealth Brewery has also backed the AIDS Ball, along with various initiatives and fundraising events. This year, despite there not being a ball, CBL is still behind them.
This year, from November 29th until December 4th, we are going to invite retail customers of 700 Wines and Spirits to walk into our retail stores while you're purchasing your favorite beverage. We invite you to make a donation to the foundation, and we commit to match your donation. So if you choose to donate $10, $5, that translates into $10 to $20.
Forced to downsize and shed several of its programs over the past 2 years, the Bahamas AIDS Foundation is still fighting to recover. And with added help from the community, it can.
You know, even something as simple as, you know, setting up a means at your bank whereby every month you donate $10 to the AIDS Foundation, you know, and small amounts help. You know, it all adds up at the end of the day. So we're hoping that people will remember that HIV/AIDS is still an issue, still a concern, it's still with us, and we need people to be aware. We need people to be safe.
Crystal Darling, ZNS Network News.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
We elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate.
The magic of Christmas starts this Friday, November 27th at 6 a.m. at our Southwest Plaza. Now, the deals will be wild this Black Friday, but the good news is that the magic of Christmas and many of our hard-to-beat offers last all holiday season long.
Christmas is just a magical time and we just feel so good about the season. And what we did was we started from November 1st. Every week, our customers were able to get some wonderful deals, whether it's prepaid or whether it's postpaid. And of course, we always have a great internet bundle deal. We're really excited that collaboration between Spice and Ray Culmer. You're going to see so much wonderful things happening in our stores. You can look at the Christmas decor in the store and it tells you that we're feeling Christmas. We're definitely sharing the magic of Christmas this year. So when customers come into our stores and they make a purchase, they get the opportunity to put their hand in the grab bag. They can win anything from Samsung accessories to gift cards, just wonderful prizes every time they make a purchase. We want customers to know that if you're porting over to BTC, you're making the switch, you can get devices for as low as $19, as well as a $7 combo plan. And if you're postpaid, you can get the iPhone Mini 12 for as low as $199.99. So we have great deals. Those persons who are still working from home, students who are still homeschooling, we have internet package that's best suited for you. You get 150 megs of speed, and you also get 157 channels. When you want to take a break, relax, and you want some entertainment to watch wonderful movies on Flow TV. So we have wonderful, wonderful specials this Christmas. Those persons who want to come on down and take advantage of all of our phone specials, come on down to BTC. We're here open for you. We've extended our hours for Christmas and Black Friday. Once you get to our Southwest Plaza store at 6 a.m. in the morning, you're able to purchase your gifts at 70% off.
These are still the moments that move us. I'm Corbell Pyfrom. Happy holidays. Be well and be back here. Next, BTC Connection.
COVID-19 attacked our personal and national psyche. We fought back. We adjusted our consciousness so that we could wrap our minds around the impossible and unbelievable things we were going through. But guess what? Nobody escaped. That means there was nobody who was too pretty, too cute, too important, too holy, or too rich to escape the mental trauma and battering of COVID-19. We can allow COVID-19 to destroy us or defeat us, or we can make a decision right now to act in a manner that supports wellness for ourselves and for the nation. So let's act to restore and sustain our personal sense of well-being and our national mental health status. We're all involved. It's that important.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Enhanced coastal protection, climate and coastal resilience, expanded economic and capital growth, improved connectivity and accessibility, increased income, employment, GDP, tourism expenditure, improved education, livelihood and well-being. All top priorities from Mangrove Key Central and South Andros MP Leon Lundy, who also acknowledges the need to have Androsians return back home.
The job opportunities on New Providence draw many to the capital. However,
the island of Andros is a largely underutilized and underrepresented asset when we consider the Bahamian economy. With a strategic plan in place, we can have a progressive, sustainable development management of the island for both its people and the environment. The National Development Plan details the challenges, risks, and rewards for the intentional approach to build and sustain Andros as a powerful economic center. These key pillars have been defined by Androsians themselves, which is a great indication and confirmation that identifying challenges and recommending solutions can come from Bahamians.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil, again.
Good evening, Makishla. Outside of our studios, we are under mostly clear skies with a temperature of 72 degrees, relative humidity at 68%. The winds are out of the northeast at 6 miles per hour. Your barometric pressure 1,019.4 millibars. That's 30.10 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 68 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Tool Key, 68. Marshall, Babico at 72 degrees. 74 in the Berry Islands. Alistown, Bimini, 74 as well. More 74s in Harbor Island. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 75. Black Point, Exuma, Kemp, Space, Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros, all reporting 74 degrees. 76 in Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key, Georgetown, 78 degrees. 79 in Ragged Island, Clownstown, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Acklands, Matsutown, Unago, 80 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 81. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. For all areas tonight through Thursday, you can anticipate a northeasterly flow at 10 to 15 knots, and the wave height around 2 to 4 feet. Low tide will take place at 10:19 tonight. Another low tide at 11:04 tomorrow morning. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
Super value and quality supermarkets have all your favorite brands and no limits. Muller's cut macaroni, 16-ounce, 2 for $3.79. Hunt's ketchup, 32-ounce, $2.79. Chicken leg quarters, 10-pound bag, 89 cents per pound. Yellow onions, 3-pound bag, $2.89. Pork chop ends, $2.39 per pound. 15 VAT-free items in this week's specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Your trust is paramount. By believing in us, you believe in the best. Thank you for trusting in us to provide you with a superb customer experience and for trusting our products. As we celebrate 5 years of Alive, I look forward to many more years of innovation and leading the industry with our products and services, all to maintain your trust.
There's something so special and genuine about putting a smile on someone's face during a difficult time. It's one of those feelings I reflect on most during our 5-year anniversary. During the pandemic and the aftermath of Hurricane Dorian, we worked in your community to provide relief in any way we could. We look forward to spreading the joy to you, whether it's through community events or customer-focused solution. We're here for you. Thank you for believing in BEST.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Imagine what it would be like if there wasn't a referee. That's why we have a referee to make sure that we all play fair. As an independent regulator, IRCA has been working with consumers and service providers since 2009 to ensure that the regulated sectors are well managed and that everyone's interests are fairly represented. That way, we all get to play on an even playing field. IRCA, improving lives through effective utilities regulation.
This portion of the news brought to you by Genuine Care, keeping you home while you're away. This is ZNS Total Sports.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Sports Tuesday. I'm Charles Fisher. College football is back in the 242 with the return of the Bahamas Bowl. Making the announcement for the return was Chris Pica, Communications Director.
ESPN this year, in their campaign for college football, the title of that was Welcome Home. And it basically talks about the fact that fans are back, stadiums are back, full schedules are back, and the bowls are back. And this certainly is a welcome home for us at the Bahamas Bowl. We're proud to be back at the longest running international bowl game in college football history. And we'll make history once again. For the second time, we begin bowl season. We're the first game out of the blocks for bowl season. So all eyes will be on the Bahamas on December 17th. And we're proud that two teams that are very familiar with our game, Middle Tennessee was here in 2015, and Toledo in 2018 will make up the field.
Reps from the two schools making it to our warm shores and looking forward not only to the game, but the sunshine of the Bahamas and its fans. Larry Maples, Associate Athletic Director at Middle Tennessee State, and David Notke, Deputy Director of Athletics at Toledo.
We're juiced to be down here in the Bahamas. It's not every day that you get to come down here and play a game in a place like the Bahamas, and then when you combine it with playing football, you've got magic at hand. So I know we've been here before, and we're excited to come back. So we're in paradise, is what you guys call it, and I think we'll have a great time down here. There's a lot of things that come from being able to expose our student athletes to a trip like this one. There's nobody else that does the way you guys do it. You guys do it phenomenal job. I'm pretty sure our student athletes will enjoy. Even our fans and our donors come down here to visit, will enjoy themselves and have a great time.
We're really excited to be here. You know, we had a great experience in 2018, and when we did the bowl announcement with the kids, you should have seen the excitement. Needless to say, what do you think the reaction was? Quite a bit of jumping around and excitement. Can't wait to be back on the 17th. Thank you so much.
Executive Director of the bowl game, Richard Giannani, making this special announcement.
This year, because of COVID, the last 2 years, and the struggles that everybody has had, we are going to allow the Bahamian citizens, any Bahamian citizen will be able to come to the game at no charge. So we're hoping that they'll get out and come to the game, but that's our gift on behalf of the government and ESPN and Disney to provide those tickets to anybody.
Welcoming the teams was the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg.
It is a privilege to have you here on the island, and we look forward to you continue coming and to stay here with us. While you're here playing, we want you to enjoy the sun, the sand, and the sea, and make sure that on your free time you come back here and visit with us. Bahamas appreciates you coming here. You know, the molding of the character of individuals through these various disciplines, the exposure that you give our young people is most important to us at this time.
Just like the waves on the seas, the passing of the legend, a sailor of the highest order, Captain Lundy Robinson, sent rough feeling through the sailing community. He skippered sloops like the Crazy Partner, Udiva, and Red Stripe. Saddened by his passing was crewmate Gerard Moxie.
The sailing's lost a great person. The Bahamas has lost a great person. Everybody know him as
the quiet guy. He was always, humble, kind, and courteous in his response to people. When he was sailing, he would do things the right way, and he instilled that in me. All of the crew members that sailed with him. So we just right now in shock and hurt, but we're trying our best to get through the situation right now.
Commodore of the Black Point Sailing Committee, Gregory G.T. Adley, also with fond memories.
Lundy was the type of person, he not just want you to sail with him, he always want you to learn something, So he was the type of dude who was so humble, the type of person where it's so hard to fill his shoe. That's the passing of a legend, and everyone is saddened by that. But we're gonna do our best to keep sloop sailing in Black Point Exuma, and he would want the sports to continue.
Yes, plans are already in place for something in Lundy's honor.
We're gonna do something very, very big very soon. We're gonna start by having another C-class event in Black Point in his honor again. We're gonna do that. I can see something happening here in Nassau for some of the more bigger boats, the B-class and the A-class, in the not so far future, pretty soon.
He was a person who was behind me when I became Commodore in Black Point Exuma. Him along with Emmett Monroe, they always wanted an A-class sailing regatta in Black Point Exuma. So now we don't have a choice in the matter. Now we have to push it.
On behalf of the ZNS Total Sports family, we would like to send condolences out to the family of Captain Lundy Robertson, a sailor of the highest order. And that's a wrap on Sports Tuesday. I'm Charles Fisher. Have a safe evening.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Wait, that's you?
Girl, don't be calling my name in public like that. What you saying?
Hey, radio, why you here?
Come to get my car license.
Yeah, but you don't have to be here?
No?
No, you could just go to My Gateway. My Gateway is a fast, easy, and secure way to access and pay all government services online.
So what you do?
I went to mygateway.gov.bs, registered with a government-issued ID, and bam, I was done. I scheduled an appointment, and in less than 20 minutes, I was straight.
Oh, shoot.
Do you want to travel this holiday season? Don't want to miss out on those blockbuster deals? Well, have you gotten your COVID-19 vaccine yet? Time is running out to travel for the holidays, and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine may be just what you need. It's one and done. Just one jab of this vaccine, and 2 weeks later, you're fully vaccinated and ready to shop. Protect yourself and your loved ones this holiday season. Schedule your vaccine appointment now.
BTC spreading Christmas cheer to everybody whether far or near. Move to the rhythm of Christmas round.
Did you hear that? Is it Santa?
Bring home BTC Superfast Extreme Internet Bundle for only $99.99 with 157 channels and 150 megabits of speed per second, and your home will be blazing all year long. This Christmas, make it BTC. It's the better choice for you and me. Move to the rhythm of Christmas. Move to the rhythm of BTC.
Nobody wants to get HIV, but if you do, it's not the end of the world. Being diagnosed early gives you a chance of living a long and healthy life. Testing is the only way to know for sure if you have HIV, and knowing your status means that you can protect yourself and your sexual partners. Getting an HIV test is quick, easy, free, and your results are 100% confidential. Get tested and know your status.
Colon cancer is the third most common cancer affecting Bahamians. Your risk of developing colon cancer is increased if you have a personal history of colorectal cancer or colon polyps, a family history of colon cancer, or inflammatory bowel diseases such as ulcerative colitis. Other factors that can increase your risk of developing colon cancer are low-fiber, high-fat diets, a sedentary lifestyle, obesity, smoking, and alcohol. You can take steps to reduce your risk of colon cancer by making specific lifestyle changes. Eat a variety of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. These foods contain fiber, minerals, vitamins, and antioxidants, which may play a role in cancer prevention. Drink alcohol in moderation or not at all. Do not smoke. Exercise with a goal of getting in at least 30 minutes each day. If you've been inactive, start slowly and gradually build up to 30 minutes. Also, talk to your doctor before starting any exercise program. Maintain a healthy weight. If you're at a healthy weight, maintain it by combining a well-balanced diet with daily exercise. If you need to lose weight, ask your doctor about healthy ways to achieve your goal. Colon cancer screening can also help to prevent colon cancer or lead to its early detection when treatment is most effective. If you're 45 years or older, speak to your doctor about having a colonoscopy or some form of colon cancer screening that may be appropriate for you. I'm Dr. Eugene Marcus Cooper. Pay attention to your health. Get the facts and discuss colon cancer with your physician today.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, the 2021 tropical cyclone season comes to an end at the stroke of midnight tonight. And what a busy season it has been. 21 named storms, 7 hurricanes, and we had 4 major hurricanes. But the good news is that the Bahamas was not impacted directly by any of those named systems. And our satellite picture showing a thin ribbon of clouds over the extreme southeast Bahamas that's associated with that old front system that's responsible for these beautiful, nice temperatures we have been enjoying for the past couple of days. High pressure is in control, relatively light winds over the next couple of days, so boating will also be a very good experience. Our forecast for tonight, mainly clear skies, very cool again, 64 degrees for a low temperature. Last evening we went down to 62 again, and tomorrow we're looking at lots of sunshine, very delightful, with a high temperature of 80 degrees. The extended weather forecast, beautiful conditions will continue right through the weekend. Temperatures very nice in the low 80s, and those nighttime temperatures, well, we'll eventually get out of the 60s sometime on Friday. A little warming trend takes place over the weekend, and we'll have another front system coming in here the latter part of next week. Ms. Kessler.
Well, Basil, you could keep the cool weather coming, but that does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. And as we celebrate our 44th year of television broadcasting, it feels great to be your home. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching, and good night.
What a bright time, it's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go gliding in the one-horse sleigh.
You're watching the ZNS